Dear learners, welcome to the course Disaster Management Strategies. As you know, Model 12 entitled Capacity Building and Disaster Risk Management consists of 3 units. The first unit of Model 12 is Unit 24, Training and Disaster Risk Reductions. Today we will explore this unit together. I am Utpal Lekha, your course coordinator from Krishnakanta Hendrik State Open University. I am excited to have you with me on this journey. Let's get started. Welcome to Module 12, Capacity Building and Disaster Risk Management, a crucial model that focuses on strengthening the abilities of individuals, communities, organizations, and institutions to effectively prevent, prepare for, respond to, and recover from disasters. This model consists of 3 units. Unit 24, Training and Disaster Risk Reductions. Unit 25, Disability and Disaster Risk. And Unit 26, Child and Disaster Risk. In earlier models, particularly Model 11, Role of Community in Disaster Management, you have already explored the central role communities play in disaster risk reductions, including vulnerability, perception, empowerment, community-based approaches, and indigenous knowledge. You have seen how proactive, people-centered strategies shift disaster management from reactive relief to prevention and resilience. Now, in Model 12, we turn to capacity buildings, the process of developing and strengthening the skills, knowledge, attitudes, resources, and systems needed to manage disaster risks effectively. Capacity building is not just about training experts, it is about empowering everyone, from government officials and first responders to ordinary citizens, vulnerable groups, and children, to contribute to a safer society. Unit 24 lays the foundations by focusing on training as a core component of capacity building in disaster management. Training equips people with the practical tool, knowledge, and confidence to act before, during, and after disasters. It bridges awareness, that is what people know, with actions, that is what people do. Effective training reaches not only professionals but also the general public, because disasters affects everyone and prepared communities save more lives. In this unit, you will learn why training is essential for capacity building in disaster risk reductions, different modes of training, that is classroom, web-based, field-based, and specialized equipment training, how each mode contributes to preparedness, response, and resilience, the role of institutions like National Institute of Disaster Management, and the importance of inclusive, objective-oriented training. By the end, you will appreciate that well-designed training transforms ordinary people into capable first responders and build a culture of safety and resilience across society. Let us first start with training for disaster management. Training is a cornerstone of capacity building in disaster management. It goes beyond mere information sharing. It develops practical skills, fosters the right attitudes, builds confidence, and motivates actions. Effective training ensures that both professionals and the general public can take timely, appropriate measures to prevent, mitigate, and respond to disasters. There is a strong link between training and awareness. Awareness tells people what risks exist and why they matter. Training shows them how to act. Without training, awareness remains theoretical and ineffective. In disaster-prone regions like India, trained individuals and communities can significantly reduce loss of life and property. Training is especially important in disaster management because of its unique challenges, such as disasters are unpredictable and fast-moving. They require coordinated actions from many stakeholders. They demand quick decision making under stress. They affect vulnerable groups disproportionately. Now we'll discuss effective training in disaster management. Effective training in disaster management develops 3 interconnected and essential areas to ensure individuals and communities can respond confidently and competently. First, knowledge. Trainees gain a deep understanding of hazards, that is its types, causes, and patterns, risks, that is its exposure and probability, vulnerable factors like social, economic, physical, and environmental, and key preparedness measures such as early warnings, mitigation strategies, and safety protocols. These foundations enables informed decision making before, during, and after disasters. Skills. Participants acquire practical, hands-on abilities such as administering first aid, conducting safe evacuations, performing basic search and rescue operations, interpreting early warning signals, and use emergency tool effectively. These skills turn theoretical knowledge into life-saving actions in real crisis situations. Next, attitude. Training fosters positive qualities like remaining calm under pressure, collaborating effectively as part of a team, demonstrating empathy and sensitivity towards affected people, especially vulnerable groups, and taking personal and collective responsibility for safety. These attitudes promote resilience, reduce panic, and encourage supportive, inclusive behavior during emergencies. By building knowledge, skills, and attitudes together, training creates well rounded, capable responders who can prevent losses, protect lives, and support faster recovery. Training is required at multiple levels to create a well prepared society. First, policymakers. Policymakers need training to integrate disaster risk reductions into development plans, policies, and budget discussions. Operational teams. Operational teams such as police, fire services, medical staff, NDRF, civil defense require specialized skills for efficient, coordinated response and rescue operations. Community members. Community members like villagers, self-help group members, youth, school children, ASA Anganwadi workers need basic preparedness training so they can act confidently as first responders in the critical early hours of a disaster. In India, the Disaster Management Act 2005 mandates training for local authority officers and employees. Institutions like the National Institute of Disaster Management lead national efforts offering face-to-face, online, and satellite-based programs. Training must be inclusive, continuous, and practical. It should reach women, children, persons with disabilities, elderly, and marginalized groups. We will explore these topics in Unit 25 and 26. When the public is trained, warning systems work better, evacuations are smoother, and recovery is faster. In short, training turns knowledge into action and vulnerability into resilience. It is not a one time event, but an ongoing process that builds a culture of safety. Now we'll discuss classroom training. Classroom training remains a highly effective mode for building foundational knowledge, skills, and attitudes in disaster management. It allows direct interactions between trainers and participants, group discussions, role plays, and immediate feedback. Classroom sessions are ideal for introducing concepts like hazard type, vulnerability, mitigations, building soft skills such as leadership, teamwork, emotional intelligence, sensitizing participants to real challenge through case studies. Key features and methods of classroom training. Classroom training is a highly interactive and structured mode of learning that fosters direct engagement, immediate feedback, and collaborative skill building. It is particularly effective for introducing concepts, developing soft skills, and sensitizing participants to real-world disaster challenges. Key methods of classrooms. Key methods of classroom training include seminars and workshops. These sessions bring together policy-level officials and experts to discuss strategies, review past disasters, and analyze case studies. For example, the effective response to Cyclone Fani in Orissa, which highlighted early warnings and evacuation planning. Role plays and simulations. Trainees actively practice coordination, communications, and decision making through realistic mock scenarios, helping them experience the pressure of disaster response in a safe environment. Group discussions. Participants share personal experiences, debate potential solutions, and build empathy, promoting deeper understanding and stronger teamwork. Lectures with visual aids. Instructors use videos, slides, models, and demonstrations to clearly explain critical topics such as early warning systems, shelter management, first aid techniques, and safe evacuations procedures. Example in practice. In South India, non-government organizations organize classroom sessions focused on cyclone preparedness, teaching community members to recognize warning signs, build simple floating devices, and coordinate safe movements to shelters. In Assam, classroom training targets frontline workers like Anganwadi staff and ASHA workers, covering essential flood safety measures such as safe water storage, hygiene practices, and basic health response during inundation. These sessions combine theory with practical tips, ensuring participants leave ready to act confidently in real emergencies. Classroom training is especially effective for building foundational knowledge, fostering interactions, and developing practical skills in disaster management. It is particularly valuable for government officials who gain a thorough understanding of legal framework such as Disaster Management Act 2005 and their roles in policy implementation and coordination. NGO volunteers who practice essential skills like community mobilizations, awareness campaigns, and grassroots levels response coordination. School teachers who learn how to integrate disaster risk reduction concepts into curricula, empowering students with life-saving knowledge and prepared habits from an early age. These targeted groups benefit from the interactive nature of classroom sessions where discussions, role plays, and case studies help translate theory into confident, real world action. Strength of classroom training. Classroom training offers several key advantages that make it highly effective for building knowledge, skills, and confidence in disaster management. First, personal interaction builds trust and motivation. Direct face-to-face engagement between trainers and participants fosters strong relationship, encourages open sharing, and boosts motivation. Trainees feel supported and inspired to apply what they learn. Next, immediate clarifications of doubts. Participants can ask questions and receive instant feedback during sessions, ensuring concepts are fully understood before moving forward. This real-time interaction helps clear confusion quickly and effectively. Opportunity for emotional intelligence training. Classroom settings are ideal for developing essential soft skills such as staying calm under pressure, handling stress, showing empathy for survivors, and supporting vulnerable people during crisis. Role plays and discussions help build these critical attitudes. Limitations of classroom training. Despite its strength, classroom training has some practical challenges. First, limited reach in remote areas. It is difficult to organize in far-flung or inaccessible locations where travel, infrastructure, or logistic pose barriers, potentially excluding rural or isolated communities. Time and cost constraints. Sessions require dedicated venues, trainers, materials, and travel, making them resource intensive and harder to schedule frequently for large or dispersed groups. Classroom training works best when combined with practical components such as field visit and mock drills, and followed by regular refresher course to reinforce learning and ensure long-term retention. Next, we will discuss web-based training. In today's digital age, web-based training has become a powerful, flexible tool for capacity building in disaster management. It overcomes geographical barriers, allows self-paced learning, and reaches large audience at low cost. Key features and methods of web-based training. Web-based training offers flexible, scalable, and accessible learning opportunities, making it ideal for reaching large and diverse audiences in disaster management. It leverages digital tools to deliver content anytime, anywhere, with interactive elements that reinforce knowledge and skills. Key methods of web-based training. Key methods of web-based training include first, online modules and courses. These provide structured, self-paced learning with videos, reading materials, quizzes, and interactive simulations. For example, virtual mock drills for evacuations or incident response. Webinars and live sessions. Real-time online events allow direct interactions with experts, question and answer sessions, and live demonstrations, fostering engagement and immediate clarifications. Open educational resources. Freely available materials from platforms like National Institute of Disaster Management, United Nations Disaster Risk Reductions, and others offer downloadable guides, videos, and toolkits for self-study and references. Mobile apps and SMS alerts deliver quick, bite-sized tips, updates, and reminders directly to phones, ensuring rapid dissemination of warnings, safety checklist, and preparedness advice to communities. Example in practice. National Institute of Disaster Management's e-learning portal provides comprehensive online courses on topics like flood management, earthquake preparedness, and incidents command system, complete with assessment and certificates. During COVID-19 pandemic, web-based training provided essential for public health emergency preparedness, enabling widespread dissemination of guidelines on hygiene, distancing, and response protocols when in-person sessions were impossible. These digital approaches continue to support ongoing training for remote communities and busy professionals across India. Web-based training is particularly well suited to a variety of needs in disaster management, offering flexibility and wide reach. First, specific hazards. Targeted modules on particular risks such as cyclone resistance, building codes, or drought water management techniques allow focused, in-depth learning. Continuous learning for busy professionals. Officials, responders, and volunteers can update their knowledge and skills at their own pace without disrupting work schedules. Reaching remote or underserved communities. Mobile-friendly content and SMS-based alerts deliver essential preparedness information to areas with limited infrastructures, bridging the digital divide through smartphones. Strength of web-based training. Web-based training stands out for its ability to deliver high-quality disaster management educations efficiently and inclusively. Its key strengths include scalable. Thousands of learners can access the same course simultaneously, making it ideal for nationwide or large-scale capacity building. Flexible. Participants can learn anytime and anywhere with an internet connections, fitting training around daily responsibilities. Cost effective. Eliminates expenses related to travel, venues, printed materials, and e-person instructors. Trackable progress. Built-in quizzes, assessment, and digital certificates allow easy monitoring of learning outcomes and completions. Limitations of web-based training. Despite its strength, web-based training has gone practical challenges. First, requires internet access and digital literacy. Connectivity issues or lack of familiarity with technology can exclude some participants, especially in rural or low-income areas. Lays hands-on practice. It offers limited opportunities for physical skill building compared to field training or in-person drills. Web-based training is most effective when combined with practical follow-up activities, for example, local mock drills or community exercises, and made available in regional languages to ensure inclusivity and real-world applications. Next, we will discuss field training. Field training bridges theory and reality by immersing participants in real or simulated disaster setting. It builds hands-on skills, tests preparedness plans, identifies gaps, and fosters confidence through direct practical experience. Key features and methods of field training. Field training is a dynamic, hands-on approach that immerse participants in real and simulated disaster scenarios, bridging theory with practice. It builds practical skills, tests preparedness plan, and enhances confidence through direct experience in realistic settings. Key methods of field training. Key methods of field training include mock drills and simulations, full scale exercise that replicate specific hazards such as floods, earthquakes, or cyclones. Participants practice evacuation procedures, rescue operations, and inter-agency coordinations in a controlled, safe environment, helping them experience the intensity of real crisis. Field visits, guided tours to disaster-affected areas, relief shelters, or high-risk zones, allowing trainees to observe real-world challenges, community responses, and local adaptations firsthand. On-site demonstrations, practical instructor-led sessions focused on using equipment, performing search and rescue techniques, conducting safe evacuations, and administering first aid in actual or simulated field conditions. Community interactions, direct engagement with local residents to access vulnerabilities, identify community strength and resources, and incorporate grassroots insights into planning, fostering mutual learning and ownership. These methods ensure that training is grounded in reality, revealing gaps in plans and strengthening coordinations across responders and communities. Examples in practice: in Orissa, annual cyclone drills brings coastal communities together to practice rapid evacuations to multi-purpose shelters, testing early warning systems and transport logistics. In Uttarakhand, field training emphasizes landslide early warning, safe slope monitoring, and community-led evacuation routes in hilly terrain. Field training is especially valuable for developing practical real world skills and testing preparedness in simulated or actual disaster environments. It is particularly effective for first responders such as NDRF teams, police and fire services who refine critical abilities like rapid deployment, specialized rescue operations, collapse structure search, and incident command coordination under realistic pressures. Community volunteers who gain hands-on exercise in mobilizing local issues, for example, using boats for flood rescues, managing raised platforms as safe zones, or leveraging traditional community shelters and networks. Officials such as district administrators, block officers, and disaster management coordinators who directly access the real world challenges such as inaccessibility road, communications breakdowns, resource shortages, and interagency coordination gaps, enabling them to refine plans and improve future responses. These groups benefit immensely from the immersive nature of field training, which turns theoretical knowledge into confident, coordinated action, essential for effective disaster management. Strength of field training. Field training offers unique advantages by providing immersive, hands-on experiences that closely mirrors real disaster situations. Its key strengths include builds muscle memory and real-time decision making. Repeated practice in simulated high-pressure scenarios help participants develop automatic responses, that is, muscle memory, and sharpens their ability to make quick, calm, and effective decisions during actual crisis, reducing hesitations and error when every second counts. Reveals practical gaps in plans. Hands-on exercises uncover hidden weaknesses in preparedness plans that theoretical sessions might overlook, such as blocked evacuation routes, equipment shortages, communication failures, or logistic bottlenecks, allowing for immediate improvements. Strengthens coordinations. Joint participations by agencies, communities, volunteers, and officials fosters better teamwork, build mutual trust, and improves overall coordinations, ensuring smoother collaborations and more efficient responses when disasters strike. These strengths make field training an indispensable part of capacity building, turning prepared individuals into confident, cohesive teams ready to protect lives and communities. Limitations of field training. While field training is highly effective for building practical skills and real world readiness, it also comes with certain challenges that need careful planning to overcome. First, logistically complex and costly. Organizing field training demands extensive preparations, including securing suitable venues, arranging equipments, coordinating multiple agencies and participants, and managing transportations and safety measures. These requirements make it resource intensive in terms of time, funding, and manpower, which can be a barrier for frequent or large scale sessions, weather dependent. Most field activities, especially outdoor drills and simulations, rely on favorable conditions. Heavy rain, extreme heat, storms, or other adverse weather can disrupt schedules, force postponements, or reduce the realism and safety of exercises, limiting opportunities into monsoon prone or extreme climate regions. Despite these limitations, field training remains invaluable when planned strategically, for example, by scheduling during suitable season, using indoor alternatives where possible, and combining with other modes. Field training should be conducted regularly, designed to be inclusive, that is, actively involving women, youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities, and followed by thorough debriefings to capture lessons learned and refine future plans. Training for specialized equipment. Disaster response frequently depends on specialized equipment to save lives, clear obstacles, provide medical care, and maintaining communication in challenging conditions. Proper hands-on training is essential to ensure this equipment is used safely, quickly, and effectively under high-pressure situations. Key equipment commonly used in disaster response. Specialized equipment is vital for efficient, safe, and rapid operations during disasters. Training ensures responders can deploy and use these tools effectively in high pressure situations. Commonly used equipment includes earth moving machinery, bulldozers, excavators, and loaders for clearing debris, rubbles, and block roads after earthquake, landslide, or building collapses, enabling access for rescue teams. Mobile cranes, generators, and search lights. Cranes for lifting heavy objects or trapped vehicles, portable generators to restore power, and high intensity surge lights to illuminate dark, collapse, or nighttime rescue sites. Medical units, mobile trauma care centers, and portable X ray units for providing immediate on site treatment, stabilizing injuries, and diagnosing conditions in remote or overwhelmed areas. Communication tools, walkie talkies, and satellite phones to maintain reliable coordination when regular networks fail due to damage from floods, storms, or earthquakes. Water purification units and tankers. Systems to treat contaminated water and tankers to transport clean drinking water, preventing health crises in flood affected or drought hit zones. Boats, inflatable fiber or zodiac boats designed for swift water rescue, victim evacuations, and supply delivery in flooded regions where roads are inaccessible. Mastery of this equipment through regular training directly contributes to faster, safer responses and reduces loss of life during emergencies. Key focus area of training for specialized equipment. Training on specialized equipment is designed to build competence, confidence, and safety, ensuring responders can operate tools effectively in high pressure disaster situations. The key focus area include safe operation and maintenance. Trainees master correct handling techniques, troubleshooting procedures, and routine maintenance check to minimize risks of accidents, equipment failures, or operational errors during critical missions. Rapid deployment in emergencies. Participants practice quick setup, activations, and use of equipment in realistic simulated scenarios, developing the speed and precision needed when every second counts in real disasters. Team coordination. Strong emphasis is placed on seamless collaborations with other responders, strict adherence to standard protocols, and clear, effective communications to ensure coordinated and efficient operations in chaotic environments. These focus areas transform technical knowledge into reliable, life-saving performance when disasters strike. Examples in practice: National Disaster Response Force battalions undergo intensive training on advanced tools like hydraulic cutters, collapse infrastructure, surge devices, and chemical leak contaminate kits. The India Disaster Resource Network, that is IDRN, portal supports this by providing real-time information on equipment availability across districts, helping teams locate and deploy resources swiftly during crisis. Stands of training for specialized equipment. Training on specialized equipment delivers direct life-saving benefits by ensuring responders can operate tools with precision and confidence in chaotic disaster environments. Its key strengths include safe lives. Through efficient use, well-trained operators can deploy and use equipment swiftly and accurately, performing rescues faster and more effectively. This is crucial during the golden hours immediately after a disaster, when rapid interventions can reach trapped victims, extract them safely, and significantly increase survival rates. Reduces secondary risk. Proper training emphasizes safe handling techniques, preventing additional hazards during operations, such as control management of leaking chemicals, avoiding explosions or contaminations, or stable debris removal, that is, preventing further collapses. This protects both victims and responders, minimizing new dangers that could worsen the crisis. These strengths make specialized equipment training indispensable, turning complex tools into reliable assets that enhance overall response effectiveness and safety. Limitations of training for specialized equipment. While training on specialized equipment is critical for effective disaster responses, it also presents certain practical challenges that require ongoing attention. First, require regular practice and maintenance. Skills acquired during training can fade without frequent drills and hands-on practice. Similarly, equipment must undergo consistent servicing and checks to remain fully operational, as neglect can lead to malfunctionings or reduces effectiveness during actual emergencies. Expensive equipment needs secure storage. High acquisitions and maintenance cost, combined with the requirement for protected climate control storage facilities, can limit availability, particularly in resource constrained or remote areas where funding and infrastructure are limited. To overcome these limitations, training programs for specialized equipment should adopt structured evaluation frameworks such as Kirkpatrick model, which assesses reactions, learning, behavior sense, and results. This ensures trainees not only gain knowledge but can confidently and competently apply it in real crises. Regular refresher course, simulation exercises, and maintenance schedules are essential for sustaining readiness and maximizing the impact of these vital tools. Training is the backbone of capacity building in disaster risk reductions. It transforms awareness into action, vulnerability into strength, and individuals into capable responders. In this unit, you have explored how the various modes of training, like classroom, web based, field based, and specialized equipment training, work together to create a complete and balanced learning experience. Each mode strengthens different aspects of preparedness, building not only practical skills and knowledge but also the right attitudes, confidence, and teamwork needed for effective disaster response. From policymakers gaining strategic insights to frontline responders mastering equipment, and from community volunteers practicing local deals to villagers, confidently carrying out evacuations. Training reaches every level of society. When combined thoughtfully, these approaches empower everyone from decision makers to ordinary citizens to play their part in building safer, more resilient communities. Effective training is inclusive, continuous, practical, and community centered. It empowers ordinary people to save lives in the critical early hours of a disaster, supports professionals in coordinated response, and build long term resilience. As India faces growing risks from climate change and urbanizations, investing in training is not optional. It is essential. Institutions like National Institute of Disaster Management lead the way, but success depends on all of us. That is, government, NGOs, communities, schools, and individuals. This unit prepares you for Unit 25 and 26, which focus on specialized training needs for persons with disabilities and children, ensuring no one is left behind. Remember, a trained community is a resilient community. Let us all commit to learning, practicing, and sharing these vital skills. Stay safe, stay trained, and stay prepared. Thank you.